All right. Good afternoon. How are we doing today? Um, Super Bowl Sunday. So, I don't know. I wanted to do a quick video, kind of driving. I think doing a video definitely helps articulate the thoughts. So, um, leaving the gym, decent workout. Listening to somebody talk about the Super Bowl was kind of humorous, but I don't know if I'm gonna watch Super Bowl today. I had somebody reach out, asked me what I was doing for the Super Bowl, and I was just like, "Well, I ain't doing anything for the Super Bowl." She's like, "Oh, why not?" This is a girl. I don't know. She lives like an hour and a half away, so there's obviously nothing that's really ever going to be able to come out of that. Too far away. Just cordial friends, and it's like, well, I got, first of all, I wasn't invited anywhere, and I'm not just gonna go out randomly by myself to a bar, and then I'm not gonna, I'd rather do other things than watch the Super Bowl at home, considering I don't really have a team that interests me in the old Super Bowl. So, just kind to hang at home and do my usual. What is that, you might ask? I don't know, probably got dinner going in the crock pot. I don't know, probably smoke a cigar out in the garage, right? That's how most of my videos are, and I'm going to probably do some sim racing, right? I'd rather do that. And then, they're like, well, why don't you have anything going on? I was like, well, I don't know, I just wasn't invited. I don't know, just normal night, that's me being the vanilla me. Don't have any friends to contact, see if they want to watch the Super Bowl. And friends don't contact me. So I'm not drinking, so I don't go out to the bar and just drink. And it's a Sunday, and I got a lot going on next week, especially Monday. I got a doctor's appointment early Monday morning. I don't know, about 7:45. This is a week where I try to mentally prepare myself for some of the future plans that's coming up for me from a medical perspective. So, why watch the Super Bowl? Why do something that everybody else is doing I really don't find much interest in? I watch the college football playoffs a lot more because my alma mater was in it, Indiana University. And going there was always tailgate season, never really football season. And being a basketball school and a former basketball player myself, that's kind of what you focused on. So I don't know, it's just humorous that they're like, well, I feel kind of sorry for you. And I was like, well, kind of. I don't know why. It is what it is. I'm doing the things that I want to do. I had a good weekend, got to spend it with my daughter, and then was going to bring her to the gym, but she wanted to go back to her mom's a little early. I kind of upset her while I was combing her hair, but as a bald guy, I don't have much hair, so messing around with hair isn't one of my specialties, I would say. So, and the Super Bowl, I don't know why. I'm not going to subject myself to anti-American propaganda, anti-white propaganda. Most people that are at the Super Bowl or supporting the Super Bowl or whatever are either being, I would say, cucked, and then also don't know. Sorry, I just passed a cop, and I've gotten pulled over twice in the last freaking month for speeding. I wasn't speeding there, but it makes me nervous. I'm gonna get caught for speeding. But I'm not gonna watch Super Bowl for all that stuff. It's just like, I wanted to watch, the commercials always interest me. The halftime show interests me, but it's Bad Bunny, and I don't know anything about him. But I know, he's like, oh, I want to sing it in Spanish, he said a couple months ago, and that's fine. I don't really care. And do what you want. They're paying you to perform. You can perform however you want. People don't like it. Whatever. I'm not gonna watch it. I don't know any of the songs. If it was somebody cool, somebody relevant in my time of popular music, sure, but I have no idea anything that he would sing, so I don't have any interest there. Even if it's political or not, I don't care. Just if it's entertaining, it's entertaining, whether which side of the aisle they sit on, and I just don't know anything about them. And the same way with the commercials. The commercials could be good, but I don't know, just any more things have been just crap. Even video games and CGI and movies, just the quality is just definitely gone down. There's no real sense of humor either that you can really, highlight, I guess, because everything has to be politically correct, or at least, part of the wokeness and the groupthink narrative. So it sucks. So I don't know. That's my 2 cents for that Super Bowl bullshit. Yeah, I did that video a couple days ago. It took me a while to upload it just because it's just trying to piece it together on a title, on a description. I just went ahead and just put a title on it and then no description because it was 26 minutes and I couldn't get the transcript to pull out and to put it in AI or whatever and help me build something. So I just kind of put something together that I thought made sense. But after that, talking about being invisible and stating that my phone's dry, which it is, right? I don't have any real prospects going on right now. Even friends, right? I don't have any friends reaching out, and I don't know who I would even reach out to. Honestly, without my family, I don't know who I would even talk to on a day-to-day basis. My daughter, obviously, is too young to just be bugging her all the time, and I don't think I would ever do that. But it's an interesting time in my life, especially with the changes that I probably have to go through here this year with the stem cell transplant, and it's just, how am I mentally going to push through that? I think maybe some of the isolation that I haven't really been feeling, but is there, could be beneficial, me not reliant on somebody, even though I think with the medical situations, I'm going to have to be more reliant on people or get help from people just because I physically may not be able to do it for a while, and that's the thing. That's probably going to be the biggest hurdle around that. But, being that the invisible man, the average man is the invisible man, I thought that was a perfect title for it. Kind of sums up, me anyway. I probably come off as an average person. I think I'm a little bit above average on, depending on which demographic you look at, physically, financially, whatever you want to look at, however you want to cross it, pie it up. But I was at a place with my daughter yesterday, and came across an attractive woman that I would probably should have ask for her contact information, and I didn't do it. A couple reasons. I was dealing with her and making sure she was playing and making friends and the friends that she was playing with, and then she was with a friend, and I made some small talk with them trying to gauge their vibe, and I think I could have made it work, but it was one of those situations. And then my daughter wanted to leave and I didn't act on it soon enough because of maybe doubt or working on timing, and timing's never going to be perfect, but she still didn't get a good indication that she would have been interested. Again, because it's an attractive woman, I'm sure she has plenty of attention that she needs, so why would I be one that would stick out? I don't know. I think it's still worth a shot, but I didn't throw my shot that way. Do I regret it? Not really. Because, today I was just like, what did I do? Go on a date, figure out I don't like her, waste money, waste time, and then, you know, go back to one. And it's like, okay, was she was physically attractive? Sure, right. And that's the foot in the door to get a date. But then after that, is it really worth it? I don't really know her that well. I don't know. I'm just kind of rambling on right now on that. But yeah, I just, you know, invisible. Don't turn any heads. Don't get any indicators of interest. Don't even get stared at. You know, to the point of there was even a girl there that I went on a couple dates with, and then she, I wouldn't say ghosted me, but we never did make another date because I would reach out, and then she said she was busy, and then I would be like, well, when you're not busy or your schedule frees up, or let me know when your schedule's like, and we can plan something. She was like, sure. And then I never heard from her ever again. So, you know, I'll ask once, twice, and then typically if I put the ball back in their court and they don't come back with it, I'm not going to act desperate and text them again or ask them out again, because if they were really interested in you, they would definitely reach out back to you, and she didn't. So then I saw her there. I don't even know if I even registered on her radar. But, you know, I'm the person where I remember people. I don't know if all people like this, but if I meet somebody, I may not remember your name, but I'll remember your face, right? I'm terrible with names, most of the time, but I'll definitely remember your face for, you know, maybe conversation, you know, and being polite. You know, that's just kind of how I am. I don't know if people remember me like that. You know, I've come across people and it's like, I know you, and then they don't know me because maybe I was just so vanilla I didn't really make an impression, or I'm just the unique person that remembers more faces than most people, and I remember things like that. You know, I don't know. So did she remember me? I don't know. Did she say hi? No. You know, I didn't say hi either, but I didn't feel like, you know, if we didn't make eye contact, you know, she was busy, I acted like I didn't see her. Maybe she would have said something. I don't know. The games you play, which is childish. Should I have said hi? I mean, if I would have made eye contact with her, I would have said hi, you know, but it didn't happen. So, yeah, so it's just funny. And part of me's thinking like, well, maybe seeing me maybe spurred something in her. Maybe she would reach out after, you know, hey, I saw you at so and so, nice seeing you, even though we didn't have a conversation. Maybe that's something she could have texted or something like that. I don't know. So that's kind of, I don't know, just something I was thinking about. Anyway, I don't want to run this off any longer. So, but if you want to like or subscribe or make a comment, go ahead. If not, that's fine too. And maybe you'll see me again in another video.